Hello. Did you know that a small mistake when checking your blood pressure could mean the difference between living well and facing a stroke or even a heart attack? Yes, you could be making a serious mistake when measuring your blood pressure at home, and this mistake could be life-threatening, and most people don't even realize it. High blood pressure is a silent and dangerous condition, and the way you measure it could be deceiving you, hiding a real risk. Today, I'll share the most common mistakes that could be sabotaging your health. And at the end of this video, I'll give you all the tips on how to measure your blood pressure the right way, ensuring it's being monitored accurately. Do you want to protect your life and the lives of those you love? Then stay with me until the end and find out the details that no one talks about but could save your life. But first, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss out on tips like this. And tell me, do you regularly check your blood pressure at home? Do you have a blood pressure monitor? Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get started. First of all, should you be checking your blood pressure at home, or is it only acceptable when you visit your doctor? Many people think it's enough to check blood pressure only at the doctor's office, but let me show you why that might be a problem. Did you know your blood pressure can fluctuate throughout the day and often the readings taken at the office don't reflect reality? Also, you're not going to the doctor every week, much less twice a week. At least you shouldn't be. The stress of being at the office can make your blood pressure rise, something called white coat syndrome, making your blood pressure appear higher when, in fact, it may be normal at home. On the other hand, some people experience the opposite effect known as masked hypertension. They're so calm at the doctor's office that their blood pressure drops. But at home, dealing with the daily stress of arguments or a busy day, their blood pressure skyrockets. Do you fall into one of these categories? So, as you can see, you shouldn't just rely on checking your blood pressure at the office. It's not enough. The best thing is to have your own device at home. Do you have one? Is it a wrist monitor or an upper arm monitor? Does your spouse measure their blood pressure with the same device as your doctor? Which is the best? According to the American Heart Association, the two best options are an upper arm digital monitor or a traditional sphygmomanometer. Let me be clear. You shouldn't measure your blood pressure by yourself. If I'm a doctor or nurse, I use a stethoscope to measure it. The pressure will rise. When you squeeze the bulb, it makes your blood pressure go up, so that doesn't even make my top 7 mistakes. The American Heart Association recommends 2 types of monitors: a digital upper arm monitor or a traditional sphygmomanometer. Also, you shouldn't check your own pressure by yourself. Blood pressure tends to rise because of that. Do you have a wrist monitor? Don't worry, you don't have to throw it out just yet. But if you're measuring your blood pressure using an app you downloaded on your phone, where it uses the phone light to take your blood pressure, that doesn't exist. You've been misled. If you don't have a monitor, I suggest getting an upper arm one. It costs around $35. It's worth it and a well-spent investment. Now let's go over the top 7 mistakes you might be making when measuring your blood pressure at home. Mistake number 7. Checking your blood pressure as soon as you get home, in a rush. You just got back from the pharmacy, where you bought the monitor, unboxed it in the garage, sat down on the couch, and took your blood pressure immediately. This is a super common mistake. Don't laugh. You rush home from work or errands and want to check your blood pressure right away. Of course, it'll be high. Ideally, you should wait at least 5 minutes in a calm setting, relax, breathe deeply, and then take your blood pressure. That rest time makes all the difference. Did you know that? Starting today, those 5 minutes should be part of your routine. Mistake number 6. Checking your blood pressure with crossed legs. Look, this is a mistake that many people don't even notice. When you cross your legs, you're literally causing your blood pressure to rise. The correct way is to keep your feet completely flat on the floor. I repeat, your feet should be grounded. So no crossed legs. Sit up straight in a comfortable chair, with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. Your body needs to be relaxed, which will help ensure an accurate reading. Mistake number 5. Talking during the measurement. This is a very common mistake these days. I know you may be excited, wanting to tell everyone that you're taking care of your health, but while the device is measuring, stay silent. Talking during measurement can alter the result. So, stay calm while measuring and save the conversation for later. Also, you shouldn't move or stress about the result. Just relax. Many people don't want to measure their blood pressure at home because even just thinking about it makes their pressure go up. Mistake number 4, taking your blood pressure with a full bladder. This might sound strange, but yes, measuring blood pressure with a full bladder does make a difference. When your bladder is full, it can temporarily raise your blood pressure. So before you strap the device on your arm, make a quick trip to the bathroom. It's a small adjustment that can prevent inaccurate readings. Mistake number 3, exercising and then taking your blood pressure right after. You just left the gym and want to check your blood pressure? Or maybe your physical therapist or trainer wants to check it. Don't do it. Explain to them that exercise temporarily raises your blood pressure. And yes, you need to exercise because, in the long term, it will help lower your blood pressure. But if you check right after exercising, the result will be higher than it actually is. And you'll tell your doctor, "Look, doctor, you said my blood pressure would go down with exercise, but it's high right after my workout. At home it was normal, but now exercise is raising it. So wait at least an hour after exercise to get an accurate reading. Try it out. You'll see that it goes down." Mistake number 2, drinking coffee or smoking before measuring your blood pressure. It goes without saying, but cigarettes are bad for you, right? If you still smoke, here's a reminder. Nicotine raises your blood pressure, but so does caffeine. Caffeine doesn't cause chronic hypertension, but it does lead to a temporary increase in blood pressure. So, wait at least 30 minutes, ideally an hour, after smoking or drinking a cup of coffee before checking your blood pressure. And of course, use this as extra motivation to quit smoking for good. Mistake number 1, incorrect arm positioning. The most common mistake is improper arm positioning. This is especially true with wrist devices, which is why the American Heart Association doesn't recommend them. Newer devices do indicate if your arm is positioned correctly. What's the correct position? Your arm should be at heart level, relaxed, and supported. This detail is essential. If your arm is too low or too high, your reading will be inaccurate. Make sure the cuff is snug but not overly tight and positioned 1.5 inches, 2 to 3 centimeters, above your elbow crease, directly on the skin. Sleeves can interfere, so avoid having any clothing in the way. And make sure the cuff size is correct for your arm. If you're a weightlifter, a wrestler, or have larger arms, using a small cuff will give a falsely high reading. If the cuff is too small, it may even pop open due to the Velcro not holding. This could increase your reading by up to 20 millimeters. So, take your time and wait 5 minutes before measuring, sitting quietly with your back supported, feet flat on the floor, and your arm at heart level. What about wrist devices? Are they reliable? Well, the truth is that wrist blood pressure devices aren't the first choice, even by the American Heart Association. They're convenient but often less accurate. Wrist position is sensitive to minor movements, which can lead to inaccurate readings. However, if you already have one, you don't have to throw it away just yet. Here are some precautions to take. First, position your wrist at heart level. Small changes in height will affect the result. Second, avoid movement. Even the slightest tremor can impact the reading. If you have a condition like Parkinson's, where steadying the wrist is difficult, consider switching devices. Third, make comparisons. Take your wrist device to your next doctor's appointment and compare the reading to the arm device in the office. If there's a significant difference, it may be time to reconsider its accuracy. Fourth, consider replacing it. If your wrist device's readings are consistently off from those at your doctor's office, it might be time to invest in an upper arm device, which is generally more reliable. You can get a good quality arm device for around $35, and it'll last you a long time. Did you know that blood pressure devices need to be calibrated annually? Your doctor's device should be calibrated as well. There's usually a small seal indicating calibration. Check it next time. If you've had your device for more than a year without calibrating it, it's time to do so. Calibration ensures it's measuring accurately. Also, keep an eye on the batteries. Sometimes inconsistencies are fixed by simply changing them. Now, if you have high blood pressure, make sure you're doing everything correctly. If you're on prescribed medication, take it as directed. Many stroke cases are directly linked to hypertension, which is a severe issue, significantly raising your risk for heart disease and other health complications. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., and high blood pressure can be a silent threat, with no symptoms until it's too late. Incorrect readings, neglect, or lack of treatment can increase the risk of stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, and even premature death. The good news is that there are many ways to reduce this risk, and it all starts with small lifestyle changes. Eat a healthy diet, lots of fruits and vegetables. Exercise regularly, lose weight if you're overweight, cut down on sugar, and replace regular salt with a light salt, which contains 50% potassium. Note, if you have kidney issues or high potassium levels, avoid light salt. Managing stress can also make a big difference in your health. So, what will you do starting today? Invest in your health. Measure your blood pressure accurately, follow instructions, and seek medical guidance if needed to control your hypertension. Your life and well-being depend on it. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you love, because these tips can save lives. And remember to consult a doctor and make informed choices to protect your health. Since you made it to the end, I'll share 3 recommended videos you might find helpful. Check out my video on the real reason to drink water on an empty stomach every day, what no one tells you, and my video on the 7 powerful benefits of eating beets daily. Thank you for staying with me until the end. May God bless us with health and life. Let's work together to promote everyone's well-being. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you in the next one, and thank you very much.